What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Layeth, the Squad Down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me this week is the Godfather Rex. How's it going, sir?
Oh, yeah, it's going great today. Got the coffee, and I got the cats, and I got the Kev. I'm good.
Steve is on assignment. He's basically working a con this weekend, so got the Godfather on. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right into Raw. We're just gonna jump right into it. Raw actually opened with the Bloodline arriving backstage. Paul Heyman spoke to Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa about their responsibilities on the show. The first match saw Sikoa take on a man who has begun to be a thorn in the side of the Bloodline. It was Sikoa versus KO, with KO getting the win by disqualification because as KO was pinning Solo, Jimmy broke it up.
You know, I think the whole Kevin Owens storyline right now, I think this is stuff that started a while back, and this started months and months and months ago with, Sammy, and of course, with against Kevin Owens, and, which led into War Games and everything else that happened. It was just, I think that Jimmy breaking up, that's just par for the course, with he broke it up. And,
Well, they're keeping Solo strong. Solo has not eaten a pin since he's been there, and that's the way it should be, I think.
He's the muscle of the bloodline. I mean, he needs to be that guy. I mean, I love that he doesn't talk that much. If he says anything, it's just like, grunt, grunt. That's what he does.
He don't even do that. He just sort of looks at him and like.
But his facial expressions that he does, if somebody's being dumb or if somebody's being funny, you can see the different facial expressions. And him as a performer, I think he does a great job of conveying that his emotions just by his face. He does a great job.
Yeah, he does a real good job with facial expressions. But next we have Bianca Belair versus Carmella. I mean, easy one. Bianca wins. I mean, it wasn't a very good match because Carmella's not a very good wrestler, in my opinion.
She's not. She was better. Honestly, I think she was better when she was the ladder match champion a couple years ago. But she also had help, and I do love the interaction from the announce table though, because Corey's always talking about, oh, that's my wife. Leave my wife alone, and and it's good stuff. So. I do love that. So especially, they broke kayfabe a long time ago with that. So that always makes me happy when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bianca, hands down.
Oh yeah, and I love me some Bianca Belair. She is the EST.
Yep.
Next we have Logan Paul comes to Raw. The Miz was in the ring to welcome Logan Paul to Raw for his confrontation with Seth Rollins. It barely took a few seconds of the YouTuber being in the ring before the visionary made his way to the ring. Rollins and Paul traded insults while the Miz stoked the fire. The visionary ended up fighting the A-lister and his guest, but the numbers game caught up to him and ended up eating a knockout punch from the social media star.
One lucky punch.
It was a lucky punch. They build it up because he has like a screw in his finger or something like that.
Yeah, he does. Look, a lot of people, and I might, sorry if I bring any shade to your show when I say this, I'm actually a fan of Logan Paul. I am. For somebody that as a
get out.
And off to the green room I go. No, seriously, I try to look at, I look at wrestling as entertainment, and I love it. This guy goes, from, social media, just like his brother has gone from social media, whatever, to, legit. I'll give him a legit boxer. He's doing it. Go back to the Logan Paul, Tribal Chief match. Here, he did amazing.
He's actually pretty good in the ring. He's one of the better celebrity guest wrestlers that WWE has gotten.
Oh, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not like it's not like Mike Tyson versus Steve Austin or anything like that.
Right.
But I mean, it's just he does a great job. I think they need to work on him a little bit when it comes to his lip service and his talk because he's still pretty flat. But you know, I
He is one note. Yeah.
yes, I believe that I believe he's going to get over on Seth. I do.
I hope not, but it could happen. Next, we have Omos comes out with MVP to face Dolph Ziggler. Mustafa Ali was in the crowd cheering on Ziggler like a goofball. Omos gets the win. I mean, that was easy one. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
he's
nothing match.
Mustafa being the stalker right now. I mean, I love we've wearing a hat, his sign. We love Dolph. I think it's a great thing. I don't think he's actually trying to, unlike other wrestlers that are stalking other wrestlers right now in the world. He's not stalking. I think he's just stoking the fires.
Yeah.
But Dolph,
He-
though, man, I'll say Dolph for being such a great wrestler, great performer. He plays the fall guy a lot, and I'll give that to him. I mean, he's got great skill, he's got great stuff. He's just he
well,
just
he's at the point in
yeah,
his career where he's just putting over the younger talent.
and that's
Yeah.
what he's doing. He's taking the
Yeah.
falls, man, and I enjoy. But against almost doesn't need anybody to take falls against him. I mean, he's
Everybody could take the fall against Omos. I mean,
yeah, he could.
yeah. Next, we have Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano wins this one, which was a surprise because I think that the Judgment Day should have won this one. I'm a big fan of the Judgment Day. Love everybody in the Judgment Day, especially Miss Rhea. Oh my God, love me some Rhea. Um,
She's
but
hot.
yeah,
She
yeah.
is.
But
She and she talks good shit too. She does. I like her as well. But
yeah,
um,
back when I lived in Florida, they have the coconut loop, and they would come to my town every once in a while. And it's just a small little rinky-dink building. The what is it? The army surplus building or whatever is there that they wrestle in. And Rhea was there. I've gotten to see Rhea. I've gotten to see Bianca, the Street Profits. I've gotten to see all of them in this small little venue, and it was. Those are some of the memories I love. The smaller venues.
and that's a good. I love I love live events. I do, and
Yeah,
especially I've been there's only about 2 years of my life that I wasn't WWE, and that's when WCW was at its prime back in the day.
I
So
got you. I got you.
because I'm Wolfpack NWO for life. That's me. 100% still to this day. Oh yeah, there we go. To this day. But I love those. But on Johnny wrestling, man, I like him. I think he's got great charisma, and I'm not all that bad on the Judgment Day. I like most of the Judgment Day. I
Okay.
cannot stand Dominic Mysterio. Cannot
Well,
stand.
that's by design, of course. That's by
I know it
design.
is, and good job on the writers, and good job on WWE
Yeah.
for making it to where I don't like somebody because I mean I know it's entertainment, 100%, but
Oh, definitely.
the fact that I can actually go out of my way to actually cuss at my TV, especially after his prison stint,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, comes out with the teardrop tattoo on his face.
Oh,
I'm like, what are
yeah.
you doing?
I love it. I love it. I love
So,
it. He's a great heel.
oh, he is, he is. I think he's done a great. I think he has done a great job at that, and the misery he's been causing his dad. But
All
but
right,
carry
moving.
on with that because that's gonna. I'm sure this is gonna lead up to Edge and coming in. So.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Nikki Cross versus Piper Niven. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't remember this match hardly at all. Piper Niven gets the win. It was a nothing match.
It, it it was. I think the match itself, and I didn't think that I knew Piper was going to win the match. I did, but I think it's going to push the storyline a little bit more with Nikki Cross and oh, what's her name? Johnny Wrestling's wife. I can't remember her name. The Fae.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, Candice LeRae. I think it's going to push that storyline a little bit further because,
Yeah, I think it is. And I actually think that they're going to bring back some of the members of Sanity for Nikki Cross.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Next, John Cena addresses the WWE Universe. And then, of course, Mr. Austin Theory comes down. And he challenged John Cena to a match
down.
Was that?
A-Town down.
A-Town down, yes. He comes out and challenges John Cena to a match at Mania. John Cena says, no, you don't deserve it, and goes and totally berates Austin Theory. At the end of the day, though, they're going to have a match at Mania. I think it's going to be a good match. It's going to be the old welcoming in the new, because I've said Austin Theory reminds me a lot of John Cena. I think he does to a lot of people. We just got to see if it'll go.
He does. He reminds me a lot. And even John Cena said it in the ring. But I think the way John Cena put it during that chat was he reminds me of the ruthless aggression era, and how John Cena, he's talked openly about that on different media on how that almost ruined his career. I mean, before
he almost got started.
Yeah,
he was almost fired. He stated that he was rapping on a bus, just playing around, and that's how he became, John Cena, the rapper. Stephanie McMahon heard it, and that's what boosted his career. But he was about to be fired before that. So.
Oh yeah, and John Cena, when he, I think it was 2005, Raw came down to Corpus Christi, where I was living at the time, and I took my daughters, and I, we never missed wrestling, wrestling. So we took my daughters, and the next day I was getting on a plane to go to basic training. So that was my last hurrah with my kids was Monday night, and we, my wife took the kids the next day because John Cena was doing a signing at a record store.
Oh, very cool.
This is in 2005, so yes, we still had record stores, and and so I still have the John Cena autograph CD up in my office. So
that's cool.
From his initial CD. I love the Dr. Thugonomics. I mean, I think it's great. So I love it. I love it when they do flashbacks like they did. I think it was it WrestleMania last or before that, where he came out as the Doctor.
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I missed that.
But next we had Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin. This was a decent match. Look, I don't care for Corbin, but I respect him. He loves wrestling. You can see that. Chad Gable is an excellent wrestler. This had the potential to be a much better match. It just kind of fell short.
I think it did fall short. And I'm sad to see them going back. If they would just give, I mean, either Baron Corbin's up on top of the world or he's freaking homeless. I mean, they can't get it in the storyline. I mean, all of a sudden he's winning after he had all the losses before. Now he's going back to nobody gives a crap about him.
He needs to be Monster Hill is what he needs to be. He needs to be Monster Hill. Chad Gable gets the win on this one, by the way. Next, we have Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. But before that, we had Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus had a confrontation with Damage Control that led to a WrestleMania challenge for a 6-woman tag team match. So,
I am very excited about this match.
I am too, just for Trish Stratus. I love me some Stratusfaction, man. Straight up.
Oh yeah, I'm stratified every time I see her. So
I get it.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great match. I love having the two legends, and when I was watching the episode, I was thinking, it's not like Ric Flair's coming out and going, "I'm gonna do this match." He's old and beat up. These women, they look in shape. They look like they look like they did in their prime.
Yeah.
I think the the tag team match when the Man and Lita won the titles. I know you probably covered that in your last show, but I wasn't there, so I'm gonna jump on it real quick. I know that Lita had a few slow misses, and her timing was a little bit off, but
a little ring rust.
That's exactly what it is. If she didn't have ring rust, though, you're gonna get Lita at her prime.
Exactly.
So I'm good with it. And adding Trish into the mix now, I'm just excited about it. I can't wait. And WrestleMania is coming up here, and it's my birthday month. So every happy birthday to me. Every WrestleMania is in April. So
Happy birthday to you, man.
there we
The
go.
main event was up next with Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn have let's see. I'm sorry. Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn have been shown throughout the night interacting with each other, but it was finally time for them to meet one-on-one in the ring. The crowd was firmly in Zayn's corner as he and Jimmy brought the fight out of the ring almost immediately. Chants of "Ole, ole, ole, ole." We then get Jimmy talking some trash to Zayn. Uh Jay Uso showed up toward the end and stood on the announce table as he appeared to cheering on his brother. And then that caused a distraction, and Zayn pinned Jimmy. And then Jay basically walked past Jimmy, hugged Zayn, said, "I'm with you." And then you could see it coming because he took a couple steps back. Super kick to the face. Jay turns on Zayn. It was I could see it coming, but I didn't want to see it. Look, I didn't want to see it. I love what they've been doing. Um I actually read an article not right before we started filming that you could see something like when Jay hugged Sammy, he whispered something in his ear and Sammy's eyes got real big, like, and then that was right before the super kick, so maybe Jay didn't totally turn on Sammy. I don't.
See, okay, this is my thoughts. And see, I haven't read that article you're talking about, but when he walked past in the ring, I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. He's going to go down there. He's going to end up beating up Sammy in some way. But
Mhm.
I think it's a shoot. I do. I think that he's really going to interfere in the matches, and it's going to be against the bloodline when it happens. I think he's sticking with Sammy. I really do. At least I'm hoping,
I
because that
honestly
would be
think
it'd be the Uzi thing to do. So
it would the backstabbing thing to do. Uzi,
yep,
total Uzi. So he turned on him visually, but I really think Jay is going to be the one that truly puts the crack and breaks the foundation of the bloodline. All right, but that is it for Raw. We're gonna move on to SmackDown real quick. We have the number one contender match: Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Karrion Kross versus LA Knight versus Xavier Woods. Um, I'm just gonna go through this real quick because we spent a lot of time on Raw.
I'm sorry. Raw is my favorite, and that's my fault. I
Oh
take
no,
full
no,
responsibility.
perfectly fine, perfectly fine. I love the discussions. It's great. But we get basically a double pin with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre pinning. I forget who they pinned, but I think it was Cross and Woods or Cross and LA Knight. It
I
was
think
a
it was crossing.
combination of them, but they pinned them both at the same time. So next week we get Sheamus versus McIntyre for the number one contender match.
I'm excited about it. I'm a McIntyre person all the way.
I love,
Drew,
dude.
Drew's
You
my boy.
cannot go wrong with a Sheamus McIntyre match because it's a brutal. It's just a fight, and that's what I'm here for.
And exactly, and those and kayfabe aside, breaking kayfabe, they're best friends. I mean,
Oh yeah,
they play all the time, they fight all the time, they practice all the time. I mean, come on, you know, when you have a good relationship like that in wrestling, in any match, if you have two best friends fighting, it's like KO and Sami Zayn, dude. Those matches are amazing. It's because they're best friends and
it's
they
gonna
go
be
at each
good.
other.
I can't
It is.
honestly. This hasn't been hinted or anything like that, but there's two best friends that I want to see wrestle. I want to see Rhea versus Raquel Rodriguez. I want to see those.
Raquel,
Yes, I want to see those two wrestle.
she's a tall drink of water.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on before I get in trouble. Uh, Next, we get the first WWE Hall of Fame inductee, Rey Mysterio, comes out and he starts to address the crowd. And then, of course, he gets interrupted by his son. And then Legado del Fantasma comes out because they're sticking up for Ray.
Yep.
Because Ray can't do anything because Ray, it's his son. He don't want to fight his son, but Legado del Fantasma will. And so we get Legado del Fantasma versus the Judgment Day with let's see, the Judgment Day winning.
Yep.
It was a decent match. You can see that they're setting up Ray and Dominic for Mania, but who wants to see that really?
I don't. I'd rather see them. I'd rather see Dom Dom showing up for Thanksgiving dinner at his house,
Yeah.
with mommy, and getting thrown out. That's what I want to see. I like the shoots they've been doing on those. Those have been great. So
Well, next we get the Viking Raiders with Valhalla versus
mm,
Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Viking Raiders defeat Ricochet and Strowman by pinfall. Um, then Charlotte says she wants a match and she don't care who it's with. So she gets a match with Shotzi, and Charlotte defeats Shotzi with figure eight.
of course.
Let's see. Moving on, Cody Rhodes joins Sami Zayn's fight against the Usos. Uh, Jay Uso admitted that he didn't want to do what he did, but Jimmy Uso is his brother. They're family. Um, there was a big brawl, and of course, Cody Rhodes comes to help. That was SmackDown. There was nothing spectacular happened during SmackDown. It was just a bunch of continuation. That's
Yeah,
all.
this over the next week or so, as we get closer to WrestleMania,
It's gonna ramp up.
I mean I have to watch the go home shows. I mean, I don't care what I'm doing. I'll record it. I'll have to go online. I will make sure every like the Raw and SmackDown right before WrestleMania weekend.
Mhm.
I'm in like Flynn because I cannot miss the go home shows because so much happens on those last episodes before the big
Right.
events. So I'm
Last
excited.
week, WWE, both shows were very flat. This week, you could see the ramp up.
Yeah.
It's not steep, but it's hitting that corner to where it's starting to ramp up just a little bit, especially on the main storylines. So you can see it starting to come together.
Yep.
All right. AEW time. AEW Dynamite started out with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal for the All Atlantic title. This was an amazing match. The storytelling in this match was fantastic. You had Orange Cassidy going after one body part on Jay Lethal, his arm, and Jay Lethal going after Orange Cassidy's leg. This was some of the best storytelling AEW, in my opinion, has done. AEW puts on great matches, but they're usually just you know, you know, flips and kicks and stuff. This was good storytelling. So
Yeah, I agree with you. AEW, man. All the matches to AEW though. Storytelling aside, I think they remind me a lot of the old. What was it? I can't remember now. I'll come back to that. But it's just amazing how the wrestling techniques they're using and the different stuff they're doing is very active.
yeah,
Very
their
active.
wrestling, most of their wrestling styles are very athletic. Their storylines though are not there yet. Like I've always said, WWE has better storylines. AEW has more exciting wrestling.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, but this match here, I'm just gonna I without no, I'm just gonna spoil it now. This is my match of the week: Jay Lethal versus Orange Cassidy. I'll just spoil it here.
Okay.
Next, we
Spoiler
have
alert.
Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho.
Mm,
Uh,
sorry, Ruby Soho. My bad.
oh, you like you some Ruby?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been a big fan of that wrestler for a while, no matter what the name. So yeah,
Well,
yeah,
she defeats Sky Blue, of course. Which Sky Blue, I mean, is impressing me every time I see her. So
yep.
Next, we get a FTR promo, which was a great promo. I love the FTR. If you don't like FTR, just get out now, because you don't like wrestling. I'm telling you that right now. But they put on a great promo saying they're back and they're coming for the tag team championships of AEW.
I think a lot of people seem surprised that they came back too. I was like, oh my God, they're back. And I'm like, what do you not think? Did you think they just quit and went away?
No, they took a beating, so they took some time
Yeah,
off.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
So next we get AR Fox and Top Flight versus Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia. The JAS, which is the epitome of sports entertainers.
Yes.
Jericho, Guevara, and Garcia defeat Top Flight.
I'm a big fan of the JAS. I am. So, I'm a big fan of Jericho. I have been for decades now, from the great countdown,
I've been a fan of Jericho even since he was in WCW. Do you remember the list of moves that he gave off against Dean Malenko? Armbar. Armbar was on there like 100 times. It was funny.
He's great. I love him. His band Fozzy, love him. I mean, I'm a big fan all around of anything he does. So, and he puts up as a performer. He props up a lot of. I think he's a good locker room leader too. So he does.
He really does. And I like the way he evolves so much to the times. You know what I mean? He is not stagnant. So
he was getting a little chunky there for a little bit, though. I'll admit.
He's shredded now, though.
Thank God, because I was thinking, it's like Chris Jericho ate another Jericho or something. He was getting pretty bad. So
next we have the Dark Order versus Blackpool Combat Club. Moxley and Castagnoli defeat Reynolds and Silver, so Blackpool Combat Club win this one. Next, we have the TNT Championship, Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I am becoming a big fan of Powerhouse Hobbs.
I could tell by the way you said the name.
Let's see. Wardlow just won this championship, and he just lost it to Powerhouse Hobbs as QT Marshall helps Hobbs win the championship. And that was AEW Dynamite. Really good show. Like I said, Orange Cassidy versus oh my God. The Orange Cassidy match was my favorite match of the night, for sure, of the week. And next we have Rampage, the AEW Rampage, Action Andretti versus Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara wins. I'm just going to go through this real quick because we all know I don't really watch Rampage.
That's good, because neither do I. I can interject some about wrestlers, but that's about it.
The Acclaimed versus Jack Cartwheel and Starboy Charlie. So the Acclaimed win. Are you a fan of the Acclaimed, though?
They're okay. They're okay. On that match, I've got more to say about the wrestler Starboy Charlie. Look, change the freaking name. Okay, come on. This is like a name that this kid picked when he was 6, when he was wrapping a sheet around his back, going, "I'm Starboy Charlie." Come on. Change the name.
Back to the Acclaim, though. Will you scissor me, Godfather ass?
Okay.
There we go. All right.
So what'd you do? Rex, what'd you do today? I scissored Kevin on the show.
We have Takeshita versus Preston Vance. Kenosh, I butchered this name all the time, guys. I apologize. Tashkita wins the match. Sorry about butchering the name. It happens. I'm horrible with names. And then the main event of the night is Nyla Rose versus Rio. Rio wins. I really wish they would push Nyla Rose more. But that is the main event. That does it for this week in wrestling. Godfather, do you actually have a wrestling match of the week?
I would have to say my wrestling match of the week would probably have to be, and I know we talked about it being a flat match, but I'm really anxious to see what happens when the storyline um, with Nikki Cross. So I thought, and I think that's the only reason it's my match of the week is because I know it's leading into something bigger.
I
So,
got you.
and that's
Everybody has their own reason for a match of the week.
story wise. I think action match of the week. I don't know, but it was tough. It was a good week. It really was. I mean, it wasn't a match, but I'll say, the see now I don't. I say Nikki Cross. I think that's my match of the week. That's like because I'm real big on the storylines going on, and I really wish they would push it better. So, and
as stated before, mine is Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal, just because of the psychology in the match. I mean, it ended because Jay Lethal went to do the lethal injection, and since Cassidy was working on that arm, his arm failed, which on the springboard, which gave Orange Cassidy the chance for the orange punch and the match. I mean, the psychology in the match was amazing. I loved it.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. I do believe that does it for this week in wrestling. Make sure you check out the horror show where the Godfather Rex is on the horror show every week. Check out check out Movie Mondays. Check out my show, Back to the Retro Review, where I review movies from the 80s and 90s. Check out the specialty shows that we have now. We have March Madness going on, where we find out the best movie, the best comedy of the 90s. I do believe that does it.
And there's only one correct answer to the best comedy of the 90s. Only one. So just let
I'm curious. Which one do you think that is?
The best comedy of the 90s, hands down, 100%. There's no question about it. You'll have to tune into the show and see.
There you go. I got you. All right. So for the Godfather, I am Kevin saying, keep on wrestling, everybody.